let's get right into it. We're going to look at Zach LaVine for his points prop. His points prop is 25.5. You can get that on Prizepicks also. Has a very high projection of 31.95 points for tonight. Let's look a little bit closer at LaVine. As you can see, 7 out of his last 10, he smashed his prop. Only had 18 against Miami in the last game. So to me, that means he's going to be more aggressive. He knows he only had 18 points in the last game. These players know, and they want to make their numbers. Playing a good defense against Philly this year. He's beat that prop one time. He had 41 in his last game. The game prior to that, he had 20. So to me, the over is, I don't see an issue with the over in this one tonight. As I say, a very high projection, only minus 115 to go under and minus 115 to go over. That's not tilting either way, but I think, it's trending toward the over, but we will do more research. The spread is 8, Philly's favored by 8. Second player we're looking at for tonight is Terry Rozier. We're looking at his assist, 5.5. His projection is 7.18. As you can see, he's a heavy favorite to go over 5.5 at minus 150. They're playing Indiana. Let's look at Rozier a little bit closer. You can see he smashed his prop in 6 out of his last 10 games. Indiana is one of the worst in the league, first assist allowed, but they're one of the best. They are the best in the league against the point guard. So in his last game against Indiana, in his last 2 games, he had 6 and 8 assists. This game is in Charlotte. Let's look at Rozier in home. Look at his last 30 in home. He's beat that prop 47% of the time. Let's look at his last 10 in home. He's beat the prop only 40% of the time in home. So you have to take all these things into consideration. Also, if you're planning on Prizepicks, the Prizepick line is 6. So you got to be, take that in consideration. Prizepicks not going to give us the 5.5. That's just a great line to give us, and they're not going to give us that line. So they push it up to 6. He still may be in play at 6. As I look at it, he still may be in play at going over 6 against a team who he had 8 assists against in his last game. So Rozier is another player I'm looking at tonight. The third player I'm looking at is Klay Thompson. We're looking at his rebounds. It's line 3.5. Projection is 5.35. If I see Klay's line at 3.5, I'm always going to look at this, and I'm going to be looking at the over. They are playing Houston. In Houston, Golden State doesn't play well on the road this year. Klay's going to get his minutes and be in the game. Plus, they're trying to get position in the playoffs. As you can see, the line is minus 140 to go over, plus 110 to go under. You do not get this line on Prizepicks, so if you place this bet, you have to place it at the books. In his last 10 games, he smashed his prop 60% of the time. In his last game against Memphis, he only had 1 rebound. Against Houston this year, 1 time on the road, 1 time at home. On the road, he had 4. In home, he had 7. This game is on the road. Houston is playing much better, but 3.5 to me is just a little low when we see that for Klay Thompson with rebounds. As you can see, at 4, he's minus 133 to go over it. So to me, that number is just a little low, and we very seriously have to look at it. Golden State's favored by 10.5. I don't like that spread either. I think Houston covers this spread. That's, we're not talking player props here, but I think Houston covers the spread at 10.5. So it's going to be a competitive game. Houston's playing a lot better toward the end of the season. Klay Thompson, someone I'm looking at tonight. Rebound prop, 3.5. The rebound prop isn't available on Prizepicks. When I see that, I do focus on the books because it means this 3.5 is in play, and I think it's in play for the over here. And the last player I'm looking at is going to be Jalen Brunson. We're going to look at his points, rebounds, and assists. His line is 33.5. His projection is only 26.48, 7 points lower than the line. The over is -130. Bettors think he's going to go, over. So let's look at Brunson a little bit closer here. New York is playing Minnesota in home. As you can see, over his last 10, he has went over this prop 50% of the time. The prop is 33.5, by the way. Playing against a defense that a lot of rebounds allowed. They're middle of the road defense. They're not that good. Minnesota's just not that good. Let's just say that. We don't have to break it down too much. Their defense is not that great. Let's look how he did against Minnesota this year. One game against Minnesota, he had 36 points, rebounds, and assists. Again, let's go back to his last 10. He was out for a few games. He's had a couple days rest now. In his last 2, he was out from 3-4 to 3-8. As you can see, his 2 games back, he has not reached the prop of 33.5. This is his 3rd game back. He's played on the 18th, 19th, 20th, another day's rest. You can probably expect him to be back to full strength. Let's look at his minutes. Only 19 in the game that he came back. He had 31 last night. I'm expecting Coach to get his minute. If he's healthy, which he wouldn't be playing, I don't think if he wasn't healthy, I expect his minutes to be back up around the 34, 36 mark for tonight. So the over in this is definitely in play, and that's probably what the sharps and all that people are looking at. And the projections are not taking that in consideration. Very tricky bet, but against Minnesota, we can definitely lean at the over, I think, for Brunson tonight. -110 for the under, but tricky. I think his minutes go back up, and Brunson will be back to normal here, and he may go over this prop for tonight. New York is favored by 8.5 in home. So those are 4 plays that I'm looking at it for tonight. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment. You can get my premium picks on Patreon, link down in the description, and it's going across the screen right now. Until the next video, peace.